What's up, everybody? Hey, this is the Hoof Live, yo. We haven't done this yet. We haven't done this before, but this is gonna be pretty dope, man. We are excited. We want to say thank you to Buffalo Fanatics for allowing us to be a part of the brand and to have a live show. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I saw everybody getting live shows, and I was like, when we gonna get ours, man? So Pierre came through on that. I didn't even have to say nothing. But I'm your host. I'm Sterling. We got Eric over there in the top right and Anthony on the bottom. What's good, fellas?
What's going on?
What's up, man? I've been hyped for this since we planned it all out and announced it. Can't wait to hear from the fans.
Oh yeah, that's the missing piece, like the fan interaction. And you know what? You got people already getting up in here saying game on. We appreciate everyone that's already given us love. We got Ben in here talking about how about them Buffalo Bills. Yes, sir. Jukesy smokes up, yo. What's up? What's up? What's up? Man. Oh, Steve is already cracking jokes. Is that Chris Brown? The black one or the white one? I don't know what you're talking about. And already, hold up. We haven't even started yet. And Davian Price comes in with the super chat saying, let's get it. Hashtag Bills Mafia, man. For real. We do appreciate all the love you guys are giving us, all the momentum our podcast has been doing. If you want to like and subscribe to our podcast, the Buffalo Fanatics, man, smash that like, show us some love. And just so you guys know, I don't think you're going to find another podcast network or another brand like Buffalo Fanatics that's giving it to you every single day, whether it's live, whether it's a podcast, written content. We even have a dude that's on our roster that does trading cards, bro. I mean, he's breaking it down. So I don't think you're going to find anything better than Buffalo Fanatics. I'm just telling you that right now. All of our guys, we grind, we go hard, and that's just what we do. So our show is a little bit different. I mean, we have topics that we like to get into. You know, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get around the league. But first, before we do that, okay, Joe Miller.
We got the running joke going here. I got a new quality mic and my voice. Since the first day I did the podcast and listened back to it the next day, I said immediately, I sound like Chris Brown. And I had never really heard my voice recorded and played back to me until then. And it's definitely been more and more accentuated by the better quality here.
So now we know how to check our quality. Like, we know it's a good mic if you sound like Chris Brown. Perfect.
You know, Halloween is my favorite holiday. I might have to bust something out, do a Chris Brown costume.
Yo, he does sound like Chris Brown. That's crazy. Yes. That's dope. That's dope. And we got Ryan coming in. Ryan Teal, man, we appreciate you for showing us love, saying let's go. We digging it. We digging it. All right. So again, back to the show. You know, it's kind of a little different. So what we like to do, we're going to start off with what's popping. All right. And what's popping is basically we're just going around the league. You know, we're talking about, you know, stuff that's kind of hot topic. So the first thing we're going to get into, Anthony, I want you to start us off on this. No fans for the first two games.
Yeah, this was, I mean, it's unfortunate, but I think most of us Bills fans saw this coming, knowing that New York State is one of that cracks down pretty hard on the COVID regulations. And yeah, it's going to happen around the league. I think the bigger conversation to be had here is the fact that this is not universal in the NFL, that they're allowing some stadiums to be as much as half full. You're breaking down there. Yeah, as much as half full, while the Bills are now saying we're not going to have any fans. And I said this way back when all of this started, that no team in the NFL has more to lose by not having fans at the stadium than the Buffalo Bills, both at home and on the road. We saw what happened in Tennessee last year.
Right.
That was basically a bonus home game, right? I was in Miami last year. That was basically a bonus home game. So now we're not going to get any fan experience at home, and on the road, it's going to be limited. I mean, even Miami, they're allowing like 13,000, I think, which is a ton, but that's going to go to Dolphins fans. You know, there's not going to be many Bills fans allowed in.
Exactly. Does it really matter what happens in Miami? I mean, do they even have fans? I'm just saying. But hey, Pierre is over here clowning, bro. Pierre comes in saying Chris Brown sounds like you, Anthony.
Yeah, that's right.
No comment, Joe. No comment.
Right.
There is a Jets fan in the house, but it's not me.
Everybody, make sure you guys show Pierre some love. He's the OG up in here, but I call him Big Geppetto because he be moving the strings, man. And then wardrobe malfunction. I mean, the people are all up in.
Yeah. That's all right, though. I want to hit this Bills thing real quick before I fix my wardrobe.
Hold on. You can't even go there. Look, Erica, low-key Jets fan in the green room.
Oh, no.
It could be the Eagles, though, Pierre. You don't know.
That's hilarious. Before we even do that, though, check it out, man. We got Scott Van Loo. He says, I want you guys' opinion of false positive coronavirus because the players miss practice a lot. Coaches around the league are not happy about this false positive result, causing a lot of issues with players. First, Scott, man, we thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for showing us some love in the super chat. Yeah, false positive test, man. I think it's I'll go out and say I've really never had much faith in the NFL when it came to player safety. If you look at stuff like the CTE stuff, Bounty Gate, I mean, there's so many other things that shows you that player safety is not the most important. It's about making dollars. But Anthony, I mean, you know yourself, you're kind of working on the front lines with the virus and kind of some of that stuff. Why don't you real quick elaborate on Scott's take there? Yeah,
so I am a PhD scientist, so I do understand a lot of this stuff. But one of the things I wanted to say with this, it's probably a good thing that this happened now and not during the season, before week 1 or week 2, because it allowed the NFL to realize that they have to have a backup plan in place, right? They got to have some day of testing to confirm what happened when a positive test comes. In this case, though, there was it clearly came from the testing site, right? The company that is testing the samples. And as a scientist, I can understand that contaminations happen, right? No matter how much PPE and everything you use, you're talking about a deadly virus that spreads so easily. You have to keep everything sterile. And when you don't, it's pretty evident. And that's what happened here. So I think the testing site knew right away, we've got a problem because we usually have a 0 to 1% positive. Now we got 70% or whatever. And although those were reported as positive tests to the teams and the individuals, it sounds like the teams were informed pretty quickly that this was a problem around the league and that, it was a false positive situation. Now, that doesn't mean that these tests are now somehow not reliable. That was a contamination issue, one-time thing, hopefully. And again, it allows the NFL and that testing site to put in regulations, precautions to then test a sample again or figure out what went wrong, track it back before game day, right? Because if this had happened on game day, we know that it would have had much bigger implications on, who gets to play that day. And that would have been certainly a negative thing for the Bills when we found out one of the guys was Josh Allen, right? That's certainly not a good thing.
Oh, man. Yeah. That's all. I mean, you can't have the soon to be league MVP getting the Rona.
Yeah. But so they did say they were able to track it back. It was a contamination issue at the machine, the instrument that tests the DNA sample, basically. And it could be increased sterilization using better PPE. So it could be the site themselves, the company themselves that made an error. But again, these things are just going to happen naturally, no matter how much protection and safety you use. So it's good that now the NFL realizes we need a second checking point.
Hold on,
when
Anthony.
All of this comes
Hold
through.
on, bro. Hey, these comments are off the chain in here. Eric must be painting the room.
Yeah. I got to go red. Someone called me out, so.
Oh, man, y'all are something else, boy. Y'all are something else. All right, okay. All right, Anthony, I got you on that. Okay, so, I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on the COVID stuff, but I am so glad that somebody brought it up because that was part of our show. We'll see what happens with it. Hopefully, you know, our Bills players, they stay safe, and NFL players and their families, we hope that they stay safe as well. But here we go, because somebody mentioned the Dolphins, okay, and about their fans and lack of fans and so forth. Next topic, though. My boy Earl Thomas was throwing hands last weekend. I don't know what happened. There's a video on YouTube where they say there was a blown coverage, and him and another guy, Clark, I think that's his name, whatever, they kind of don't like each other and whatever, because who knows what the real reason is. But in the video, you see Earl throwing his helmet down, right? And then you don't see nothing else. But reports say that they start squabbing. They start throwing hands and so forth. Earl Thomas gets released. Now, I know before we even get to the Bills are not getting Earl Thomas, okay? We know that ain't happening. You know, Sean McDermott, and no one in the comment has said that yet. All I'm saying is we know McDermott and Bean are very, very, very protective of that locker room. I'm not sure. Earl Thomas fits as far as a scheme fit, you know, because Earl Thomas best suited in a cover 3, cover 2, where he can kind of roam and do some things. And McDermott is a master when it comes to moving pieces around and so forth. So it's not happening there. But Earl Thomas was released. Dallas came out yesterday and said, we have no interest in Earl Thomas, even though that was the destination that Earl Thomas wanted to go to originally, right? Here come the Dolphins. And there's interest in Earl Thomas. So, Eric, I want you to elaborate. If Earl Thomas, if he were to go to the Dolphins, what could his impact be? Hit me.
It's another crowded secondary, just like the Ravens, but I think it would be a great thing for the Dolphins, who already have a really good secondary. The thing that breeds good secondaries and good football teams in the league is competitiveness, right? And Baltimore clearly has that, and that's probably why Earl's punching people. So, I mean, would he go to Miami and become an instant leader and all that stuff? Probably not. He'd have to let his ego go a little bit, because these guys have already been together for a number of weeks. And guys like, Byron Jones, who he's been in the league already a long time. So it's not like he's a rookie or anything like that. So I don't know if it's a good fit. It would take a while to learn. And plus it's Miami, right? There's a lot of distractions. A guy like Earl Thomas made all his money. He's one of the premier safeties in the league in recent years. I just don't know if Miami's a good fit, to be honest, because it already is a crowded secondary. But if he did go there, I think it could be good for the team if you can work with his ego.
All right, my man, Dr. Meme. Okay, first of all, my guy looks like Papa Smurf. That's pretty dope, though. Buffalo Bill, Papa Smurf, Dr. Meme, you winning, son. He says, watch as Earl goes to the Patriots.
Yeah, I was going to say that, too.
God, I mean, man, I could use so many words to explain what I feel, but that's real. It could happen. Belichick, they always say he could fix anybody, so we'll see. But Ryan came through again. Kim Jones, NFL Network can't hide her love for Western New York. Yo, hey, I appreciate it. It came down again.
Just leave it.
Just leave it, bro. Just leave it. Yo, Ryan, though, for real, though, Kim Jones, she definitely be giving Buffalo mad love, mad props and respect. Because, it's kind of cool to see positive news in the media about the Bills. I mean, shoot, you look 5 years ago and they were dogging us all the time. All right. So are we good? Anthony, you got anything on Earl Thomas?
No, just to say that he probably would end up in the Patriots, and they'll pay him $1.99, and a free bucket of clams or something. And that's how they're going to keep it under the cap. It's crazy. They managed to bring in, it makes sense. That's the kind of guy Belichick liked, right? Let's bring in this veteran. Let's pay him nothing and get the most out of him, basically. And he'll help us beat Baltimore because he has that inside information. But I don't know if they can do it with the cap constraints that they currently have. It'd be a miracle.
All right. So our next topic here, Joe Burrow has been lights out according to the Bengals. Okay, now we do have a Joe Burrow hater on our team, and that man is the Dr. Anthony Romeo. Now, when I hear Joe Burrow is killing it, okay, he's the number 1 overall pick. You don't know if this is if they're just blowing smoke just to boost his confidence, or the dude could be actually out there throwing dimes. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's the Bengals. When I think of the Bengals, I think of dysfunction, misinformation, and so forth. Anthony, what do you think about Joe Burrow having a good training camp?
Okay, well, let's start with this. What are we talking about here? We're talking about practice. Practice, not a game, practice. This guy has never faced contact in the NFL before. He's never thrown in an NFL game before. I am not necessarily a Joe Burrow hater. It's not like I don't think he can be great. I loved watching him in college. Those last 2 games were awesome and exciting, and I loved it. But now he's got to transition to the NFL, and that's going to be a bigger leap than he's ready for. He's got no training camp, no games to practice, no real contact until that first game when he plays. And that to me means great. He looks good in practice. We're going to talk about Josh Allen in a minute here, right? And looking good in practice is important. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. So just so you guys know, at any point, that's what the super chat's for, right? Super chats get discussed live. So if you are in our comment section, you're watching the show, by all means, man, throw us some love. That it's always appreciated. It helps the brand move forward to do really cool stuff. But my man Steve comes in and he said, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, or Josh Allen. I'm guessing he's asking who's better. Eric, I know what you're going to say, Eric, but I want you to go ahead and tell our listeners so they get to know who you are and where you stand.
I might just say Kyler Murray so the world can actually get introduced to the real Chris Brown / Anthony Romeo. But definitely Josh Allen. But I just want to comment on Joe Burrow real quick to follow up. Is this guy's on top of the world right now? National championship, first pick in the draft. Like, I'm not shocked that he's in practice lighting it up, on the practice field. But fact of the matter is, a lot of quarterbacks come into the league confident, and it comes with a lot of hype. But week 6 with this offensive line, when there's live bullets thrown and you're getting rocked, things change, right? And then the great quarterbacks overcome that difficult time of like getting beat down and losing games.
For sure. And
the offensive line isn't good. So we don't know what Joe Burrow is until we see some of that stuff. Let's not forget, this was the worst team in the league last year. And yeah, they added some pieces. Maybe they'll be a little better, but don't expect them to win a ton of games.
So you're saying Joe Burrow's game is as sketchy as your backdrop option back there.
Exactly.
Okay.
You just don't know what's behind the backdrop. Right?
Let's get to the meat and bones here, though.
Okay,
right?
hold on. Both of you guys got to answer the question, though. Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, or Josh Allen. Rank them 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead. Anthony, go. I want to hear it.
Come on, man.
Go ahead.
Josh Allen is 1, 2, and 3 in this conversation. There is no Kyler Murray or Joe Burrow here. Kyler Murray had 1 season and didn't win any games, didn't show anything that was explosive. We've been having this chat in the Buffalo Fanatics Twitter chat, right? And there is no evidence that Kyler Murray is going to be exploding this year, other than, he was highly touted, first-round pick, and he did pretty well in his first year. There's no evidence that he's going to improve. There's no evidence that he can improve. We may have seen his ceiling, and that's it. You're a perennial 5-game winner. Congratulations. Wow. Josh Allen has done nothing but improve from day one. Nothing but improve. Every fault, he's gotten better. Every year, he's gotten better. He's tweaked his game. He's improved his game. He's launched beyond expectations, even as a first-round pick, a top 10 pick. And again, Josh Allen is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and Kyler Murray's somewhere around 16, and Joe Burrow's somewhere around yet to be determined.
You sound like LeBron when he was when he got signed by the Heat. They were like, "How many championships you gonna win?" He was like, "Not 5, not 6." Josh Allen is all 7. Like, come on, dog. Look. Joe Burrow, let's be real, okay? Joe Burrow was the most polished quarterback of the 3 coming out of college, right? Was he not? Most polished.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean by polished, though?
I mean, just the intangibles that he brings.
Was he the most successful college quarterback? Sure.
Oh, hold on. Let me finish. When you examine the scouting reports and you look at the game, from college tape alone, not NFL, not improving, I would much rather have Joe Burrow than Josh Allen or Kyler Murray. If you're not looking at what has happened in the NFL thus far, all I'm saying is Joe Burrow does have game. We got to recognize that.
Also, how many first round picks came from that LSU team?
It doesn't matter. It matters.
It matters a little bit.
No.
How many first round picks played with Josh Allen?
None.
Hey, that's Josh Allen's fault because he chose to go to Wyoming in the sticks, bro.
He got overlooked. He ended up in Wyoming.
Josh Allen's best wide receiver in college was Tumbleweed, son. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? But Steve is giving you love, man. He says, I bow to Anthony. Josh Allen, 1 through 7. I think Josh Allen's probably the better quarterback right now just because he's had 2 years and he's steadily improving. But I think there is something to be said for Kyler Murray and the other guys. And that's what we're going to leave it at that. I don't know what you're trying to say, War Coder. That didn't have a bionic leg. I don't know what you're talking about, son. I don't even know what you're talking about. But with that being said, we are going to move on. So appreciate all you guys showing love in the super chats. Again, if you want your comment to be elaborated on, by all means, go to the super chats. Make sure you follow all of us, Buffalo Fanatics. You see all of our tags up here, the Hoof Podcast. Every Friday we're on. Be sure to go out and support us there. So now this is the part of the show where we get into our Bills segment, and we want to call it the Inside Slant. Everything Bills related is what we're going to go through right now with the Inside Slant. So we have a few topics that you guys don't know about yet that I'm going to hit you with, okay? And the first thing that I want to do is this here. Gabe Davis versus Isaiah Hodgins. Now, okay, we have a 6th-round pick in Isaiah Hodgins, and we have the 4th-round pick in Gabe Davis, right? But we've heard multiple reports out of training camp that these guys have been balling out. Josh Allen has attested for him. Matt Barkley has mentioned stuff about him. You hear all the major guys talking about, Gabe Davis has been getting much love this week and last week. So my question for you two and people in the chat who are watching the show, which one do you think is better now and who has the bigger impact on the season? Go ahead.
Well, I think the better one now is Gabe Davis.
Okay.
Right? He's more capable. I think he's a good straight line runner, and he can contribute to the team in that way. He's got big hands. I like that. I'm not real sure about his route running ability. We're not going to be able to see that as fans, right? We got to wait till the bullets are flying. But I think pre-draft stuff says, yes, Davis can run a straight line and catch the ball deep, maybe run the post. You can work on the route running, and most importantly, I think he can play special teams in certain areas. Isaiah Hodgins, I think he's a practice squad player. This is the deepest receiving core that the Bills have had in a long, long time. And I just think Hodgins, he's got the hands. You love to see the hands. It's going to create a highlight or two. But one of the big concerns about him is he can't separate off the line. And this is college breakdown. This is one of the pre-draft things. Now you're taking it to another level and you're playing NFL corners. We got to see him get off the line faster, beat man coverage, beat the press coverage, and then I'll get on the train. But until that happens, I'm saying practice squad.
Okay, hold on. Because you just dropped some stuff that I'm not okay with. Okay, first of all, I will tell you this. Gabe Davis, I do like his straight line speed. Okay, but when it comes to running the routes and running a complete route tree, hey, my guy has him beat. Isaiah Hodgins can run routes. I mean, he's NFL ready. Now, he's not Van Jefferson in terms of like his route running prowess, but he's better than Gabe Davis in terms of his route running. I think that means something in this offense because Brian Daboll wants you to run. It's every wide receiver position on the team is interchangeable. Right. So you're playing inside, you're playing outside. It varies from because it's matchup based. Right. So I think maybe that's probably why we heard a lot about or some of Isaiah Hodgins before we heard about Gabe Davis. Right. And I think route running is one of those things. But as we all know, speed kills. And Gabe Davis has some speed. Right. I mean, when you burn Trey White on a deep ball, That says something. That means something. And before we even get to the semantics of that, hey, that ball by Josh Allen, bro. That ball Josh Allen threw was money. I mean, that was a thing of beauty, something that we need to see more often. So, Anthony, what's your take, man?
Chiming in here. It's funny how the conversation has shifted from our episode on Friday. One of the topics we brought up is that Isaiah Hodgins was flashing at camp while we hadn't heard much on Gabe Davis. Now that's kind of totally gone 360, not completely. I mean, Isaiah's still doing what he does.
Right.
But Gabe Davis is, at least from the reporting, which again is all we have to go on, but guys like Matt Perino and Sal, they're reporting that Gabe Davis looks phenomenal at camp. And I'll tell you what, the one play I saw, again, they're limiting what we see, but with that throw to Gabe Davis that he caught against Trey White, when Trey White was battling him all the way to the ground, trying to punch the ball out, falling on top of him, he caught and he followed through, and Trey stood up and said, damn, good play. You got him. And that was awesome. And I mean, even just in general, I think we all expect Gabe Davis is going to be on the 53-man roster. Isaiah Hodgins, on the other hand, is competing with me, who I think directly, my guy, Duke Williams. I wanted Duke on the team all last year to be the tall guy that we could target in the end zone, right? In the red zone. So Hodgins has to not only now compete with Duke Williams, who has a year of experience and has played with Josh Allen, but he's got to prove enough to stay on the roster over a seventh wide receiver like Isaiah McKenzie, if he's the guy, right? Personally, I want Hodgins and Duke to both make it so that you have dual big guys in the red zone, as well as obviously Stefon Diggs and Beasley and Brown. That's a threat when you're in the red zone.
Well, and that's a good point, because that's a missing element that this offense hasn't had since Sammy Watkins, Percy Harvin, right? Speed is, the Bills lack speed. We don't really have a ton of speed in the backfield, right? We're kind of a bruising type of offense. Now you add Stefon Diggs, right? That's going to give us some sauce on that top. Stefon Diggs can get it going. John Brown can get it going, right? But now when you have two guys who you're really not expected to lean on that much, they don't have to come in and think, oh yeah, I got to produce, right? So I think Gabe Davis, I mean, now I know I'm going to hit on what Bobby was talking about. Am I sleeping on his route running ability? No, I'm not sleeping on his route running ability. I just think that Isaiah Hodgins is a better route runner right now. But Gabe Davis does offer you a little bit more in the speed, a lot more in the speed category. You look at the UCF tape. What did Gabe Davis run? He ran goes. He ran quick slants, right, and comebacks. And maybe that's just. And then we learned as we watch football, just because you don't see them do it doesn't mean they can't do it, right? But that's just what we saw. So, I mean, I think they both can be successful as far as production. What I want to see in the chat, what do you guys think? What is a stat line that we can look forward to from Gabe Davis and Isaiah Hodgins? Because Isaiah Hodgins, in my opinion, has the best hands in the draft. And if Gabe Davis can use that speed, I mean, I would throw him a quick slant in a heartbeat and let him just go, because he's going to see, single coverage.
Yeah, I'd say my take on that is, what stat are you looking for? If you're looking for, to me at least, if they get equal targets and whatever, and one isn't on the field more than the other, let's say, I think Gabe Davis is going to have the yardage, because he's going to be the guy you target, on a third down when you need 5 yards, and he can get the ball and make a play happen, right? But I think Hodgins has the better chance to score touchdowns in the red zone. So, Gabe Davis might have 800 yards receiving as a ceiling, let's say, and I think Isaiah Hodgins could legitimately have 5-6 touchdowns if they use him as that red zone good hands, right? That's another thing the Bills have lacked. We have that now in Stefon Diggs as well, and we're going to get to that in a second here. But I think Hodgins' ability to catch the ball and he's big enough to contest catches in the red zone. That's going to lead to him getting more touchdown opportunities, assuming he's on the roster and not on the practice squad.
But let's not forget about what we're talking about here. You're talking about receiver 4, right? Davis. receiver 5, Hodgins, 800 yards is just like, that's insanity.
That's a ceiling.
But like,
right.
You got to be throwing the ball 40 times a game to get your 4th receiver 800 yards, I don't think maybe you get Davis in the red zone on a few plays, but really this battle is all about special teams. And Hodgins is already at a disadvantage with that because McKenzie, I know he has fumbling issues, but he has returnability, right? He has experience with that. Duke Williams has a year in the system. He's played special teams. So Hodgins has to really blow the doors off the coaching staff to even have a shot at this roster based on those parameters alone. It's special teams. That spot will be a special team spot.
I'm not as high on Isaiah McKenzie as most people. And I think that
he offers you speed. It's something unique.
But they were willing to let him walk, right? At free agency, he was a free agent. He could have signed anywhere. And he was out there for a while, and then he kind of came crawling back to Buffalo. And we were like, okay, yeah, exactly. But that tells me that the coaching staff isn't sold 100% that we need this guy on our roster, right? And that they might be willing to go with a Hodgins or a Duke Williams even and cut McKenzie. So we'll see what happens there. The wide receiver battle is definitely one of the most competitive that we have.
All right, so I'm gonna say this, and then we'll move on to why we all have you here today. But let me tell you why Isaiah Hodgins makes the roster is because if you guys, are forgetting, Brandon Beane likes his tall wide receivers, and this dude is 6'4", has short hands. We don't have that type of threat in the red zone or just a possession guy. I mean, we lost the Baltimore game. One of the reasons is because John Brown's small. We didn't have a guy that was going to run a good route and then win the catch, contested catch. Stefon Diggs is one of the best in the league. I think he's top 5 in the league if you look at PFF stats and that. Isaiah Hodgins is going to be one of those guys that is going to battle for contested catches at the catch point. So,
well, how many times last year before that Baltimore game even did I say I want to see Duke Williams active because we need that big guy for this game? Somebody, even if his hands aren't as reliable as Isaiah Hodgins or whatever, he still should have been there to give him that opportunity, right? He brought something that the Bills didn't have. And instead, I think the Bills mismanaged it a bit by not having it active until the playoff game when, he did have a few drops or a few mistakes, but he should have been led up to that, not thrown into the flames there.
Yeah, and I agree. We need the contested catch guy, right? This team doesn't have that right now, but I don't think the gap between Gabe Davis's catching ability and Hodgins' catching ability is all that big. I think Gabe Davis provides you everything you need with red zone packages. I don't think you need 2 of those guys. Would it help? Sure. Put them on the practice squad, bring them up sometimes, but week to week starter, just not going to happen in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I tell you what, though, there is something to be said for Duke Williams making a roster, though. The dude works hard. I'm sure all the wide receivers work hard, but Robert Foster ain't making it. I'm sorry. I think the Bills might keep 7 wide receivers. I think DeMarco's gone, and we'll get to our 53 as we move on in later weeks before the season starts, but I'm just telling you now, if Hodgins goes on waivers, he's gone. The Bills are going to keep him. I'm telling you, man. The Bills are going to keep him. That's just my opinion on that. But hey, that's a great discussion. But we're going to definitely have so much to talk about as we move forward. But the real reason why we got you guys here, okay, is because the report came out of camp. Josh Allen in an interview said, he tells the press, "I've never thrown the ball better." Now, when I first heard that, I got a big old grin on my face because that is what I want to hear, that he's never thrown the ball better. So for those of you who may be wondering, okay, yeah, great, he's throwing the ball better. But this is important because as we know, if you go back and watch this film, Josh Allen, a lot of times, he'll even attest to this, his mechanics are horrible. Once the play breaks down and once chaos begins, his mechanics and what he's learned go out the window, okay? That's got to change, okay? Throwing off platform, I'm glad that you got the strongest arm in the league, but you still have to be fundamental in your process, right? A lot of times you see Josh Allen trying to hit receivers with his feet all messed up, and he recognized that in an interview, and he says that. So the fact that he said he was working with, Palmer, Jordan Palmer. He said he worked with Ryan Fitzpatrick. How does that hit you? Our boys working with Ryan with Fitzmagic.
Well, hopefully
we know he's got the mind for it, right? Fitzmagic is the Harvard guy, right?
Right. And then Tony Romo. He says, he added some good conversations with Tony Romo. Maybe they got some work in. I don't know. But he'll tell you that, he says his mechanics have gotten extremely better. And he's going to try in his process, Cole Beasley even attested and said, Josh Allen is throwing guys open. And Eric, that's one of the things I said last year. We just never saw Josh Allen throw them open, right? We didn't get much rack yards. And in order to get those rack yards, your quarterback has to be able to throw you open. So what do you guys think about Josh Allen's remarks?
Josh Allen, I mean, I believe that he looks great in practice with no live bullets, but what have we seen from all these quarterbacks? You go back to your old habits when the bullets are flying, right? It's kind of similar to the Joe Burrow conversation. But that's, I think, where Josh is different, is he does put in the work. He made a huge gap from year 1 to year 2, so he's proven that he can learn and apply these things. And what else is interesting about Josh Allen is I think he's seen everything he needs to see. We love Josh Allen pre-draft, especially me, not so much Sterling. But what I say, Sterling, 3 years. It's going to take 3 years for him to reach his full potential and start getting it.
You said that.
So, and he's going to have to see certain things. You can't go to a bad team like what Sam Darnold's going through right now. You've got to have a good defense, right? You got to be in close games. I want Josh Allen to bring the team back in a couple games, which he's done. Mm-hmm. He got the playoff loss, which adds more chip to the shoulder. And you want to see Josh Allen, with weapons and without weapons. I thought his rookie year, not having the greatest receivers, like they kind of put the offense on Josh Allen's back that year and kind of let him drown. And he needed that, in my opinion. He needed that year. And, moving forward, don't be shocked if Josh Allen comes out and he's an MVP candidate,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Josh Allen, this is the thing we love about Josh Allen. He's our guy. He's a Buffalo guy, right? Why? Because he's not lying. He doesn't lie to you. He doesn't need to pull your leg. He doesn't need to twist your arm. If the media's in front of him saying, hey, you suck, you had a bad game, what's his response? Yeah, I sucked today. I had a bad game. I need to do better, right? When he does something well, he gives credit where credit is due. Yeah, my feet were planted right on that play, and the guy caught it because, he ran a great route, whatever. He doesn't lie. So when he says something like, I'm throwing the ball better than I have ever, that gets me really excited because he's not lying. He's telling us exactly how it is. And just like I said earlier, the fact that he's improved every step of the way. When interceptions were a problem last year in the first 4 weeks, it disappeared. It fell off a cliff because he made it a point to say, I need to work on this and digest this. And that turnaround time was unbelievably quick. So now having a whole off season to work on his mechanics, to learn how to throw the deep ball better, to learn to plant his feet, turn his head, whatever. If he's saying he's throwing it the best he is, it's a fact. He's not lying to you.
All right, so let me elaborate on more that he said. He went in detail. He said, you know what? I only played 2 years in college, and in high school they really didn't let me let it rip. Okay, and in college he said that as well. So basically, what he's telling you is he's saying I had to, everything that I did was based off of athleticism. He said he didn't have the reps that some of these other guys was having. He didn't go out and he didn't name anybody, but he said other quarterbacks that they were having. So here's an underrated thing that people don't realize. They may have heard about this during the draft process, but Josh Allen's Wonderlic score was through the roof. And Cole Beasley came out and said that Brian Daboll's offensive system is one of the hardest in the NFL. I mean, it's very, very complicated. Everybody has to be, they have to know their stuff when they come in here. So the fact that you have a quarterback who's saying, yeah, you know what? I didn't get many reps, right? Led his team second year to 10-6 into the playoffs. And we have to keep in mind that before, and I myself included, I'm hard on Josh because, I want to see him become the franchise quarterback that we all expect him to be, but he's not there yet, and he has a ways to go. And Josh Allen will tell you right now, I ain't there yet. And that's okay. We just have to be okay with the process of him moving forward.
And that's right. He's engaging. He's saying, yes, I need to get there. He loves that you're hard on him, Sterling. He
don't
would
care what
rather
I
hear
think.
that than he would hearing Eric and I sing his praises, right? How well he's improving, how good he's doing, whatever. But when you contrast that to some of these other NFL QBs, and I think we know where I'm going here, with one of my least favorite NFL players, Baker Mayfield, overhyped and underachieving, right?
Ooh,
what happens when Baker Mayfield goes in front of the media? What happens when Baker Mayfield has a bad day? He passes the buck. He passes the blame. He makes excuses. He cries to the media. He says, you're not treating me fairly. And he had 10 times the resources last year that Josh Allen did. So there's no excuses for a guy like him. And he's not somebody who's showing improvement and saying he's doing better, although he claims he's going to come out this year and do something. And I know some prominent people out there, cough, cough, Joe Marino, would probably think that he's going to do well this year, but I don't think I believe that until I see it.
Hey, you know how? Hold on, Anthony. I'm gonna stop you right there. So you know how, like, when people start drinking, they just get bold. Anthony puts that damn suit on, and he just starts talking all kinds of shit. I mean, he's calling people out and everything. Hey, let's give it up for my boy Rob, though. Rob is one of our guys in Bills backers. This is what he has to say. Best wide receiving group he's had. First time he's had 3 years under an OC, which is a great point. And understanding he's got to get the ball out of his hand. That's very true. He's in a spot where he needs to make a huge jump, and everyone else knows that. Yes, he does need to make a huge jump. And part of what makes Josh Allen so magical is that he does hold on to the ball too long. It's kind of one of those attributes where, okay, it's great, and then it's awful at the same time because, you know, he takes sacks that he doesn't need to take, right? And he misses open receivers because he's trying to make a play. But with that being said, this is the best wide receiver group he's ever had. I mean, he's got studs top to bottom. Go ahead, Eric.
And what's Josh Allen's best games, right? His best games are his most recent games. So he got better from the early part of the season to the end part of the season. I thought his best game as a pro was the playoff game. Being put on the spot and making a play for your team. Ended up coming up short, made a couple mistakes, you know, that he's got to learn and get better at. But when the team needed him the most, I thought he came through in the biggest spot. And that's really the difference between the greats and the good quarterbacks.
Hey, Cody Finney is over here dropping dimes. Yeah, he said Josh Allen went 25 of 30 today. Hey, that's what I want to see right there. I want to see Josh Allen. And just keep in mind, y'all, you know, the Bills have one of the best defenses in the league. So if he's doing that against one of the best defenses in the league, hey, sky's the limit. But this is hilarious. And okay, where is it? Somebody called Baker Mayfield Faker Mayfield. This is hilarious. The real Chris Janke.
Love
you mean
it.
Faker Mayfield. Yes. I'm not a fan of Baker and his little antics. I mean, you can miss me all day on that. Like, little dude, I'll smash you real hard. I don't want to hear that. Pierre, Baker Mayfield is showing signs of being a bust. Sophomore slump may just be a real thing. Browns beat reporters are saying that the Browns camp has been bad on offense. Hashtag.
I haven't heard that. I haven't even been following that, but it makes sense to me because the problem is Baker and his approach to the game and his personality. When you're that much of somebody who doesn't gel well with others and isn't accepting of criticism, how are you going to tell me that you're going to accept the coaching they give you or tell you why you were wrong on a certain play? No, he's just too big-headed for that, and he doesn't want to improve in that sense. He thinks he knows better than they do.
When a 20-second clip rubs you the wrong way, just imagine what he's doing in the locker room.
Yeah.
You got to have the leadership skills in the NFL.
It matters, man. You got to be a leader of men. If you can't do that, I don't see you having a successful career. I mean, you could just be a dick, right? And there's quarterbacks that people just really – they may be good on the field, but nobody's really going to bust their ass for you because, you're kind of an asshole. So,
are we getting to the most exciting part of camp today with Stefon Diggs? Are we getting to that?
Oh, that was next. That was next.
It's coming up in the chat, I saw. So I wanted to make sure.
And they said from camp today that the Josh Allen, Stefon Diggs connection was on point.
Let's go.
On point. That's what we want to hear.
Our defense against our cornerback team. I mean, come on. That's
what I want to hear.
Yeah, I think Josh needed that too. Like a receiver who's done it, right? And who's very smart. And he's not gonna take par. He wants to be great. John Brown's a good receiver, but I don't think he's the vocal guy that Josh needs. If Josh misses a throw, Stefon Diggs will confront him. I think we saw a couple clips of that, which gets me excited about what's going to happen this year.
I like it. I like it.
And the fact that he caught 7 of 7 to Stefon Diggs today reportedly was frustrating the defense because he could completed every throw to Diggs. And that's just, again, I don't want to be a hypocrite here. This is practice. We're talking about practice, not a game. Practice. But Josh Allen
hold on.
Building up that chemistry is what's important here. They are building that chemistry. He does feel more confident throwing to him. And I think that's another thing that Josh Allen has to learn that we haven't seen from him. He's got to be able to know that when somebody's coming at him and he sees that Stefon Diggs is covered, he can still throw him the ball and he's going to catch it and make a play, right? And if he's becoming more comfortable with that and can find him on those plays, we're going to be unstoppable on offense because that's the best play we can have.
Anthony, go ahead and say practice for me one more time.
You're talking about practice. Not a game. Practice.
You over here sounding like Eddie Murphy, son. All right, so yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, Stefon Diggs he's an alpha, right? And he needs that. A quarterback needs an alpha for his confidence, man. He just does. He just does. And if you haven't smashed that yo, you got to show us some love, man. I was telling the guys before we even got on this thing, I was like, yo, I'm about to poo my pants, son. I know y'all don't want to hear that at home, but it's like, bro, at any moment that shit could just come out.
It's real.
I'm nervous. I was like, they're gonna accept us, and we're cool, like, but everything's been cool. Like everything's been on point. And
is our backsplash gonna fall?
Yo, you gotta get that fixed, son. The Jets room. Let's call it the Jets room.
Keep pushing the Jets thing, and I'll fix it right now.
Yeah,
okay. Hey, smash that like button. Follow Fanatics, man. All of our guys. You'll see all of our guys, man. Follow us all because we're giving you the best Bills content, baby. It's all day, every day Bills content. I'm just telling you. We even got some folks here on Pretty Funny, like Steve Pierre got some funny to say. He's a hot mess, but again, like, smash that like. All right, okay. Oh, I see a little something up in here. Cam Akers. Y'all know who Cam Akers play for? The Rams.
The Bills.
The Rams. Cam Akers plays for the Rams. Okay.
Ask Eric that question, huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
I thought for sure he would be a Bill. He was my draft pick in the second round. So I'll take it.
Hey, just so you guys know, fantasy-wise, I know this is Anthony's thing, but I'm just going to steal it real quick. Cam Akers and Van Jefferson, they are raving about these dudes in training camp. I mean, Van Jefferson's the best route runner in this draft, right? Dad, is I think he's on the coaching staff for the New York Jets, but the dude's been around the NFL for a long time. So yeah, I mean, we expect that from Van Jefferson. Now, I hope he can ball out because I really did like him. I thought the Bills were going to take a good look at him, but before we do that, Elliot is banging. Here we go. A super chat, man. Like I said, super chat, we're going to give you love. We're going to put you up. We're going to put you on. Week 1 stat prediction for Josh Allen against the Jets. I think he will unleash the beast on them. Their defense will be a breath of fresh air after camp. Now, before we even jump into that, okay, the Jets defense, I mean, who's on defense for the Jets? I mean, you lost Jamal Adams, right? CJ Moses said, nah, y'all trash. I ain't even coming. Who can somebody name a cornerback for the Jets? I don't even know right now. I mean, does anybody know? Who?
Is he a Jet now?
Yeah, but Indianapolis said, get your ass out of here. I don't want to hear it.
Pierre Detier, yeah.
He's slow, so he's going to get burned next. Who else they got?
Oh, man. I don't even know.
I have a question. Do the Jets, are they going to have fans at their stadium?
Oh.
Probably. Oh, they play in New Jersey.
They play in New Jersey.
But
I know the game's in Buffalo.
Because New Jersey's still having some issues. So I don't know. I think not. I'd lean towards still no.
Hey, they're struggling, bro. They got to do something.
If they do, it'll be all Bills fans there. No Jets fans are going to show up for that.
I'm going to agree with Bobby. Hey. I think Allen gets his first 300-yard game. I can't create an argument otherwise, right?
No.
This receiving core is way better than it has the last 2 years have been. There's no excuses anymore for Josh Allen. Come out and light up the world.
Let's
300 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Sky's the limit. This is the Jets. We're
21 for 28.
Yeah.
You know what the line is on this game? I know we're not talking gambling here. The Bills right now are -6. Are you kidding me? 6-point favorites against the Jets? We should be 30-point favorites against the Jets. I'm taking that bet all day long because Josh Allen is going to have a day against this team. He might have 100 yards rushing and 300 yards passing, and we'll still have 100 yards rushing from Devin Singletary. The only thing that will hold us back in week 1 is if McDermott decides to do his conservative BS that I've complained about time and time again. But he said multiple times, we need to score more points, right?
Right.
Well, put your money where your mouth is, buddy, because I want to see 35 points scored against the Jets. Right? Not 28 and then we run and punt the rest of the game. No, score more touchdowns. Put it in their face. Show them what we're about.
All right, then, Big Blazer.
Anthony going to be happy not getting a target in the second half.
I got to get a suit.
Hey, for real, because the revival has come. That man is wearing that suit, and he just on fire down there.
Well, we know what it's like on game day when I wear
this y'all
tell you, right?
Cat
the loudest guy at the bar, right?
This dude right here, man. Throw the freaking challenge flag. It's like, bro, like, calm your ass down, okay? Hey, Scott, though. Scott's the homie. Says Jets went 6-2 of the last 8, which is true, but the season was already done. Nobody cared. I mean, did Adam Gase even care? He sucks too.
Jamal Adams is gone.
Their two best players. Two best players, period. Jamal Adams, who's a game changer, not just a playmaker. He makes everybody on that team better. He's gone. And CJ Mosley, their free agent signing, the guy who was supposed to turn that team around. Not happening. They have no defense now. They were top 10 last year, I believe. They were like 9 or 10 in defense. That ain't happening this year with this team.
Hey, the comments are on point. Jersey takes its lead from Emperor Cuomo. So no. Okay, that's funny. Here's another one. Jets fans last year. You only won because CJ Mosley left the game. Mosley leaves for the season, Jets fans. Well, we'll be fine.
Right.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious, my guy. Yeah, the Jets. I'm sorry, bro. Just, Douglas, he did have a good draft, right? But like we always say, I mean, it's about developing those players. And I don't see the necessary parameters in place to develop those players. I mean, Eric, your wife is a Jets fan. I don't want to put her out there like that, but I'm going to do it. She's repping them Jets. But, hey, Heather's cool.
She changed the
allegiances.
She's coming over. Nobody's perfect, It is what it is. But she's thinking about being a Bills fan.
Yeah. I wanted to get to this topic. Specifically, I wanted to talk about this because we talked about fights breaking out and, the whole situation in Baltimore. But our situation was a little different. And I actually like this kind of competitiveness in camp when a fight breaks out in camp because they're unhappy. When they're facing each other, the O-line and the D-line, somebody wins and somebody loses, period, right? And when it gets to it, because these guys are so competitive and they start getting in each other's faces and apparently started piling up on each other, that kind of competitive edge is what this team needs. Yeah. Because we know our D-line is legit and they're going to be fighting their way. And the O-line has to be ready for it. And they're going to be on their toes every day at practice. And they don't like being knocked over. But there were reports actually that our O-line was winning some of those battles too. But yeah, I love to see that competitive edge as long as it doesn't get to guys throwing fists and, whatever happened with Thomas. I don't know if he actually, up and quit or said something about the guy's mama or what, but
what you say about my mama?
Exactly. Right. Don't go there.
Hey,
we like to see that.
Hey, on the side note though, if you're talking about an O-line, D-line fight, who you think be throwing them hands the hardest though?
Ooh. Jerry Hughes.
No,
come on, man. That dude's a freak athlete, and he's a little bit crazy.
Hey, man.
Well, who do you think has the attitude on the offensive line? who was involved in it today.
Hey, I will tell you this.
Seki was reportedly one of the guys
about
who was
Trent
right
Murphy?
there. So.
Man, Ty Seki is he's like 3 seconds away from retirement, man. That dude is broken and old. I'm sorry, but it's true. No, John Feliciano was that dog.
Well, that too.
John Feliciano was that dog.
And he wasn't in the fight today, obviously.
Quentin Spain. Hey, he looks tough. I would say my guy Ed Oliver on defensive line, though. Ed Oliver. Harrison Phillips probably over there praying, right? He probably over there talking to Jesus, but hey, somebody's got to throw them hands on that defense. And I don't know if AJ Epinesa,
I don't know if
he can't do it yet. He doesn't have the clout yet.
Hey, AJ Epinesa is Samoan, right? So you know that dude's strong. He could just pick up buses in one arm, but I want to see somebody throw them hands. Look, you still getting love, dog. Chris Brown on point.
That inside information. Being at Bill's camp, seeing it all sideline first.
Oh, Q Jeff is a bad man. That's true. Q Jeff does have a mean streak. I do Q Jeff put them paws on you for sure. Hey, that's true. I stand corrected. And then Trent Murphy. Nah, exactly. That's what I say. Miss me on Trent Murphy, dog.
I wouldn't mind having him in a bar fight, though. I'm not gonna lie.
He just looks intimidating. Hey, look, if you just get to the side of him, he ain't gonna catch you because he's horrible in the run game, dog. I'm just saying.
Just plow right through him. You'll get an extra 5 yards past him.
Jeff says, I take it you've never fought no man. Shit, I know old man. They be throwing them hands, but hey, it's a new dog.
Mike Tyson's getting back in the ring.
Somebody I ain't fighting.
Old man.
He's ripped.
Look, you get in a bar fight, Lee Smith just got a penalty. That's so true. Hey, these comments.
On fire right there.
Trent Murphy fought in the Alamo. This is awesome. I mean, I could read these comments all day. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're already doing this right now. And so just for sake of keeping everything flowing, our next topic, though, my guy Harrison Phillips. Okay. Harrison Phillips was mic'd up last week. If you go on BuffaloBills.com, you can actually see the clip of him being mic'd up. And it's somebody that this offseason we haven't talked enough about. If we all remember beginning of last season and in training camp, Harrison Phillips looked like our best defensive lineman coming in. And with that being said, him coming off an ACL injury, what is the expectation for him? And what can we expect from him? I mean, I think he should be the starter, right? Because Star is gone. I would say Harrison Phillips fills that void. What do you guys think?
I don't think Harrison Phillips has done enough to start. What has this guy done for us? He had one forced fumble.
His first 3 games last year were pretty good. He was ramping up before the injury. Let's not forget that now. He was showing up to those games. There was a reason we were talking about him. There was a reason it felt heartbreaking when he was out for the year, because he really felt like he was ready for that meteoric rise into the conversation.
But he didn't get there, right? We were ready for it. Didn't happen. I don't think he starts. I think he remains a rotational player in the depth. Right?
Hey, hold on. Harrison Phillips, probably the one that told they was fighting. He goes, hey, Coach McDermott, they're over there hitting each other. Jerry Hughes, shut your ass up.
I do expect him to be able to step into Star's shoes. Now, I think we're underestimating how much attention Star got when he was out there and what he brought to the game.
I agree.
Now, he certainly didn't make enough shiny, impactful plays to leave a mark to the point where they reworked his deal so that they could cut him after this year, basically. But I think Harrison Phillips can step into that position and hopefully have just as big as an impact, even if it's a silent impact still that started. Okay, and he's the first choice to fill that void.
And that's true. That's true. So I'll tell you one area that his departure really hurt the team, and that was in run defense. Because Harrison Phillips, I mean, the dude went to Stanford. And you got to be smart to go to Stanford. Just ask Richard Sherman. I mean, we all know Stanford. I mean, come on now. But what I love about Harrison Phillips' game is that he's always in the right place at the right time. Now, I'm not just talking about what he's done in the NFL, because you really can't go off of much of that. But when you look at the scouting reports, from when he played at Stanford, watching some of the games and stuff like that. I mean, the dude is always in the right place at the right time. He really reminds, and everybody says this, but he really does remind me of Kyle Williams, one of those overlooked guys. Comes in. I think he's going to have a major impact this year. Watch for him to have a killer impact in the run game. Eric, what do you think, man? Because I know you hate.
I was going to say Trent Murphy went to Stanford too, and he's still not athletic.
No, not athletic.
Harrison Phillips is a smart player, but like you got to be athletic too in this league.
So if you're 300-some pounds, how much athleticism do you need?
Pro wrestler, but like, does he have the size to bully people like Star does?
Wow.
Kyle Williams didn't have it.
Is Eric taking a bold stance here against Harrison Phillips?
Oh, he's a hater. I love it, though.
I'm just trying to get you fired up, Anthony.
Well, I know where you're going. You keep bringing up the $8 million boulder we got on the defensive line, the guy we want to be cut, right?
Yeah.
He's Trent Murphy cannot make this team. I don't think there's any way Trent Murphy can stay on this team. You got to cut him. It's too much. You got to cut him. $8 million, that cap implication moving forward. The fact that there's other guys on this defensive line to rotate in. They brought these guys in to replace Trent Murphy. And I just think he's got to be cut.
I say keep the depth. The schedule's too difficult. And you have high expectations this season. No fans in the stadiums. I say go with the depth. Keep the guys fresh. $8 million isn't all that much. It can restructure next year and make it work. Brandon Beane's a wizard.
$8 million is not that much. $8 million is going to go a long way to the guys we want to keep. Yeah, go all in. We had that conversation too. I don't think it's a
different mentality this year.
Yes, but
$8 million is worth winning a game on Monday night.
Trent Murphy to me isn't going all in. He's not going to be the difference maker. That means, we didn't have Trent Murphy and his $8 million salary, so we're not all in. Not having Trent Murphy isn't going to cost us a game.
We have guys I
think can step in, replace him, and he's gone.
That's a good point. They don't give out trophies for future cap implications.
That's true too.
I mean, in NFL, your window of success is now. Now, I love Brandon Beane, and I love the fact that he has a plan, and that man sticks to it, right? He sticks to it. But there comes a point, my guy, when you got to swing for the fences. And sometimes I think we need to be a little bit. You guys know me. I'm more aggressive when it comes to like player personnel, right? I'm no, great, Whaley, right? But sometimes, bro, you gotta take a shot. And he did that with Diggs. But I'm just saying, Greg, you make a good point with that, man. You make a great point. You got to go all out sometimes. Murphy's deal is done after this year, and Murphy ain't winning you a game on Monday night from the real fish tank.
Anything. He's not a difference maker. I would rather have Addison out there. I would rather have Epinesa out there. There's no situation where I'm confident in Trent Murphy making play. Against the run, we've already said that's his weakness. Maybe he made impactful plays getting to the quarterback late in the season last year when the games didn't matter. He had a great game versus the Jets. Remember week 17 when he was the only starter still out there?
Yeah, he also had a great game in the playoffs. He had a great game against Cleveland.
He did have a good playoff game.
Look, this guy, he's not a slump. If he gets cut, he's going to have a team the next day.
I'm not trying to say he's a scrub.
You need all you can.
We have the depth on this team that I don't think he's a difference maker. And cutting that $8 million is going to be bigger for us than keeping him on the team.
But it's the uncertainty this season. You want to roll with a rookie who's never played in this defense, and Addison, who we haven't seen in this team, right? We know he played for, Sean McDermott in Carolina, but we don't know how he's going to react with this group. Right?
That's a valid point.
I go with the known. I don't go with the unknown in an uncertain season.
I like that point by Greg Thompson. That's actually one of the better arguments for keeping Murphy is that if we keep him and he walks next year and say we also don't end up re-signing a couple guys, that compensatory pick situation could improve. If we keep Murphy and he walks, he'll get another deal.
Pierre makes a good point. Trent had 3 sacks in the playoff game, son. He had it. I mean, that's on his stat sheet. I mean, so I will say this. Now, I agree that there's something to be said for cutting Trent Murphy, right? I would cut Trent Murphy, bring somebody else in. I mean, honestly, I would make a play for a Jadeveon Clowney. I would make a play for
That's
Ingram.
going all in. Now you're all in.
I will make a play for Ingram. I will see what they want. Because that to me, that's proven ability, right? You know what you're gonna get. Trent Murphy's been coming off an injury for 2 years. We don't really know, but he is showing signs. At some point, we can't base everything off potential. Sometimes I need a closer. I need to know when you go in, this is what you're going to give me. And on our roster, sometimes it feels like because our roster is so young, we have a lot of guys with potential or with question marks, right? I want guys now. I want guys that are closers. I want those young guys to grow into those positions, but also want some veterans to seal the deal. Now, if you go back and look at the 2015 Carolina Panthers, their defensive line was stacked. They even got Jared Allen midseason, if you guys don't, remember. Those guys, they were stacked all over the place, man. And so the Bills are reminiscing that, they were there on all that, right? So I don't know, man. Your roster's never complete. It's never perfect. But yeah, sometimes, man, you gotta take a shot. So, fact check. Hey, he's calling Pierre out. He said, where are you getting 3 sacks from? Wasn't it 2? Well, I don't have the damn stat sheet in front of me.
Somebody's got to look that up.
If it's 2 or 3, I don't really think it matters. 2 or 3 ain't, we still lost the game.
He was there, but
that much.
But we have to remember, it's not a one-man wrecking crew. Trent Murphy has never been bust through the line, get a sack guy, right? He's the guys around me, open it up, and then I can get to the quarterback. Now, yes, that's a valuable asset to have, but again, I don't think he's the difference maker. I don't think he's bringing the energy to that defensive line. He's there, he's impactful, but
Corey Buffalo just dropped some John Maxwell on us. We want credentials, not potential. Hey, you damn right. We want some damn credentials. I love potential, but at some point, man, that potential.
Yeah, we can't keep hoping that Trent Murphy reaches his ceiling every game, right? He's showing us what happens with him. He's inconsistent. He has a good game. He has a great game, and then he gets injured, and then he has another okay game, mediocre.
So what happens when Epinesa does the same thing?
Hold on. Now I want to get to this Clowney's.
And it's $8 million cheaper if Epinesa does the same thing.
Hold on. Let me tell you why I think Jadeveon Clowney fits in his defense. You got a defensive coordinator, Leslie Frazier, and you got Sean McDermott, who are great at taking players of that caliber and maximizing the ability that they have. Now, the problem with Jadeveon Clowney is you're never going to get big sack numbers. That's not why I'm bringing him here. But what you do get from him is he's a chess piece. Okay? The guy is stellar in the run game. He's so quick off the line, although he doesn't get much sacks, but you have to account for him. Now, just think about this for a minute. You put Clowney on that defensive line next to Ed Oliver, next to a rookie Epinesa at times, Jerry Hughes, Mario Addison coming off the edge. There's so many things you can use him as a stack linebacker. And there's the possibilities are endless. I'm just saying, we're not expecting Clowney to come in and have a 10-sack season. But Clowney gives you more than Trent Murphy does right now. And
that's easy. No way.
I'm just saying that's my case. Here we go. I take a gamble on Ziggy Ansah. Apparently he's in shape. And if he could fill Trent's spot, he gets more sacks.
I do think there's something to be said here about bringing in these guys for workouts and then waiting, not signing them right away. Obviously, they're queuing up guys for if something happens during the season. Or in this case, I really do think it's preparing for a cut down day. Bean and McDermott already know we're cutting Murphy, or we're not. Maybe they're not. But if they're planning to cut Murphy, they're saying, you know what? We'll cut Murphy. We'll give Ziggy Ansah whatever he wants, $2-3 million, and we're good. And he brings that role that we're looking for.
My guy Pierre says Clowney on pace to making that damn veterans minimum. So Pierre, you're saying we could have him for a bag of hot Cheetos and some Yoo-hoo?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Go. We can get him for that. If we can get him for that, I'll take him. All right, guys.
If that's the case, the Patriots are going to sign him.
Hey,
probably, yeah.
Listen here. Our time is up. Okay. First of all, man, for y'all coming out and supporting us like this, we couldn't have asked for a better turnout. This has been amazing. This show has been so much fun. I never thought that being online like this, it would be So like an hour goes by just like, and then we wanted to keep our show 45 minutes to an hour, and then we're an hour and 10. And it's just been so much fun. We can go on and on and on. But yo, we're here to stay. Every Tuesday night, you're going to have the Hoof Live podcast. Our show comes out every Friday morning. Okay. Feel free to like us, subscribe, smash that like, son. Please, everybody, smash the like. We love it. You get to see more of Anthony's blazer.
Let's go. Right. Game day ready, baby.
His overconfidence.
If you want to see Anthony wear that blazer every week, you're just gonna have to come back and watch the show. I mean, it's a drawing point. Okay, we gotta do. You know, some people have big boobs, some people have biceps and whatever. Anthony, he has a blazer, and we use it. It's just smart. So anyway, man, we just want to say thank you so much. We want to say thank you guys for coming out. Buffalo Fanatics, we out here repping. We out here getting it done every single day. And we out of here.
Shout out to our super chatters. Thank you.
Absolutely, for real. Shout out super chatters, man. We appreciate it. And we out of here. Good night.
Go Bills.
Peace.